है। अब एक बार फिर उपद्रवकारियों ने उसे अपने कब्जे में ले लिया है और आग की घटनाएं जल हो रही हैं। अंदर अस्पतालों के अंदर देखिए ये पूरा बेड है और इसके अंदर पूरा आग लगा दिया गया है।
Gentlemen, a very good evening and thank you for tuning into a brand new episode of The Breaking Ground. I'm Deepti Sachdeva. All these images that you have seen on your screens have come in from Bahraich in Uttar Pradesh. What's going on there? There is an attempt to trigger violence, but who's behind this? A lot of questions being raised by the opposition today on law and order. This, remember, was a Durga idol immersion that was supposed to go on. It was a normal, peaceful procession. Reports say it comes under attack by certain members of a community. And this is where the things escalated. They escalated to such an extent that you've seen violence, you've seen arson, you've seen open loot and open Gundaism right in Uttar Pradesh, a state that is ruled by Yogi Adityanath, who has a strong grip on law and order. And that is why today, all these images today are very, very concerning for all of us. The opposition has also responded to what's going on. And this, remember, is a developing story. Even as we speak, you have the top brass of the Uttar Pradesh police who's been rushed to the spot to ensure that the situation remains under calm. Let's quickly, without wasting time, get you the top 5 questions that will get you more details on what really are we talking about. The first big, obvious question: who's responsible for violence in Bahraich in Uttar Pradesh? Is this pre-planned, as it's being alleged? We'll find out. This brings us to our second question, that what really led to these clashes during a Durga idol immersion yatra? I mean, at the end of it, you have these processions going on different parts of the country, but why did it come under attack in Uttar Pradesh? Akhilesh Yadav, ladies and gentlemen, has claimed that there is a ploy to provoke. He says this is an attempt to provoke people, to provoke sentiment before the upcoming by-polls. We want to ask Akhilesh Yadav, who's been the former Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, that Akhilesh Yadav, before you make such a stinging remark, you make such a provocative statement, do you have proof to substantiate that? This brings us to our next big question. That is also about the response of the BJP here in the state. Remember, it's a BJP-ruled government, ruled by Yogi Adityanath. Yogi Adityanath has said that whoever is responsible for this violence, there is going to be stern action against them. But the BJP has also used this to remind us of multiple little instances that have been reported in the past few months or so across the country. And the BJP says that this is not in isolation. There is a larger conspiracy, is what the BJP alleges. They say that there are some powers out there to weaken India. Is that true? We'll find that also, and we'll ask the BJP, why do they say this here? And the last and the most important question, ladies and gentlemen, are Hindu festivals being systematically targeted in parts of the country, one after the other? Why are we reporting, discussing, looking at such reports? Is there a larger pattern, as the BJP alleges, or these are also instances that are used to play politics by different political parties? Let's quickly open this up with our panel of guests. But before we do that, I also want you to take a moment to listen into what different stakeholders in this entire story, right from those who are right now ruling Uttar Pradesh, the BJP, to the ones in the opposition, have to say before we open this up for our panel of guests.
ये कौन सी शक्तियां हैं जो भारत को कमजोर करना चाहती हैं? आर्थिक आधार पर भी, सामाजिक आधार पर भी, सांस्कृतिक आधार पर भी। ये सब कहीं न कहीं उन्हीं शक्तियों के टूल बने हुए हैं जो ये घटनाएं हैं।
जो घटनाएं हो रही हैं उसकी जिम्मेदार अगर कोई है तो शासन है, प्रशासन है, और इनकी वोट की राजनीति है, जिसकी वजह से ये जानबूझ करके करा रहे हैं। ये इनकी सोची समझी चाल है। मैं जनता से अपील करूंगा कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की चाल समझिए। ये नफरत या झगड़ा करा के ही समाज को बांट करके अपने राजनीतिक लाभ लेना चाहते हैं।
पूरे प्रदेश में मैं पहले से कह रहा हूँ जंगल राज कायम है। वहां पर गोली चली। बनारस में 481 साल पुराने भरत मिलाप में राम भक्तों पर इस सरकार ने लाठी चलवाई। अरे बोलने से नहीं होगा ना, वो जाके खाली अपना काम कर रहे हैं। मैं समझता हूं कि उनके बस का नहीं रह गया है, उनको इस्तीफा देकर मठ चले जाना चाहिए।
Let's say good evening to Mukesh Tyagi, who represents the BJP on the show. We also have Ratan Shardaji, who's a noted author. Shyam Prasad Mehka is representing the Congress. Shahid Ali is an advocate also on the show. And Pooja Mishra represents the Samajwadi Party. As I say good evening to all of you. Mukesh ji, let's begin by asking you कि उत्तर प्रदेश में इस समय भाजपा की सरकार है. Who do you think, sir, is responsible for what has happened? Do you have proof? Can you tell us who's the one who's instigated this entire violence? Who's behind this?
No, you have to go to into the history. I mean, right from the way, I mean, it is not the first time it has happened in Uttar Pradesh. If you see the West Bengal history, if you see many parts of India, where whenever the procession, whether it's a Ram Navami procession, whether it's a Durga Visarjan procession, whether it's Saraswati Visarjan procedure, there has been a standard pattern of creating a agent provocators get very active. It's a pre-designed, whether it was a Delhi thing which happened, you have seen the way people had stored bottles and bombs and stones and swords, all kinds of weaponry were stored. So it is a premeditated plan.
Who are these people?
There is certainly the community, you know, the problem, what is happening right now, you have to see the larger blueprint. Mr. Modi has made extraordinary achievement for India. Now there is a lobby which is trying to disintegrate India. So it's a network. I mean, I don't want to give you details on that front, but there is a certainly balkanization plan, divide India. Lord Curzon policy of divide and rule is the biggest explosive sitting in India right now. And
you say so there is an attempt to divide and rule. I see Mr. Mehka just shrugging off his head. I will also get in Pooja first before Mr. Mehka comes in here. पूजा, आप समाजवादी पार्टी को रिप्रेजेंट करती है. मुझे ये बताइए कि अखिलेश यादव ये कहते हैं कि जानबूझकर ये सब कराया जा रहा है क्योंकि भाजपा चाहती है कि वोट पोलराइज हो आने वाले बाईपोल से पहले. अब अगर कोई भी नेता इस तरह का बयान देता है पूजा, उनसे पूछा जाएगा ना कि क्या कोई प्रूफ है आपके पास या सिर्फ राजनीति खेलनी है?
Definitely, when the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh says that batenge and katenge, the Prime Minister of Uttar Pradesh says batenge and katenge, the Chief of RSS says batenge and katenge, that's the polarization. That is the polarization.
Now you have a problem. No, Pooja, we'll go one by one. Yeah. Are you saying that this batenge to katenge comment that has been made by Yogi Adityanath first, reiterated by the Prime Minister, this call for unity by the RSS chief, this is responsible for this violence? Are you saying that is behind this violence?
Definitely. Chief Minister is responsible because Chief Minister is on the constitutional post, and in the government, Uttar Pradesh government is the second term, in the center government the third term, and still the government is hiding behind the opposition. Who is responsible? In the Hathras, there was permission for 80,000 people. And
no, Pooja, I'm not talking of Hathras. I'm talking of a very specific thing Akhilesh Yadav has said. Pooja, suniye. Pooja, please, मेरी बात सुनिए. Akhilesh Yadav says, and I'm quoting him, because of vote bank politics, this has been purposely done. So Akhilesh Yadav कहते हैं कि ये तो जानबूझकर सोच समझकर करवाया गया है. किसने करवाया है?
I'm saying it's the thing to inquire about, and who's to be responsible. You are asking this question why opposition is asked always. The government should be responsible. The government is authorized to just take care of Uttar Pradesh.
But he says this was a pre-planned conspiracy. He's saying I appeal to the people to understand BJP's conspiracy. So if Akhilesh Yadav, Pooja ji is saying that this is a pre-planned conspiracy, I'm sure he has some proof, no? He's a former chief minister.
This is what the spokesperson of BJP also said. It was a pre-planned conspiracy. He was just talking about the history, just see how this is happening and that place, this place. So maybe he is having proof. We are saying we are not saying that different. We are just saying that the government is responsible. Government should take the responsibility rather than just hiding behind the opposition.
Okay, Mukesh ji, you quickly want to say something before I get in the other panelists?
You see why I'm trying to say that? It is historical evidence. Look at Mamata Banerjee. I mean, what happened in Ram Navami days? Why the stone pelting happened? Is Mamata Banerjee not aware? Even Mysore recently, I think just very few days back, there was a stone pelting by a certain minority community. So, you know, this is a standard pattern in Delhi riots. What has happened? Amantullah Khan and all these guys are put behind the bar for what reason? So there is a certainly support by the political affiliations when
But Mukesh ji, people will also say that you have a double-engine sarkar in Uttar Pradesh. No, if you're aware of this conspiracy, you're aware of these people, you might as well go and round them up before, something like this happens. But Mr. Mecca, you represent the Congress, sir. What does the Congress think of what's going on there?
See, Deepti, I'm very sad at the way these politics are being played. Okay, there is an incident happened. Let's handle it. Let the government handle it. If there is a problem in the way the government handles, of course, as political party, we will question that. As citizens, we will question that. For every issue coming out and saying, "Arey, there is kuch shadyantra ho raha hai. People are working against India, anti-India lobby." Arey, what kind of words we are using? What are we trying to say? We are Indians, right? We are, if day in and day out, if we are trying to say, some of us are trying to work against us. Is that a country at all? What kind of narrative we are trying to set? That is wrong.
All your appeasement politics, sir.
What?
All your appeasement politics. When you cry over the Batla Kand, when you say Afzal Guru, hum sharminda hai, tere qatil zinda hai. When you talk about Bharat, tere tukde honge. When you talk about natural resources, first right Muslims have. What kind of statement?
Okay, let him respond.
बंद करो.
Mukesh ji, let Mr. Mecca respond.
आपका इंटरप्शन बहुत हो गया. बंद करो. ऐसा झूठ फैलते हैं लोग. प्रॉब्लम ये है. सुनिए, आप सुनिए, सुनने का हिम्मत रखिए. मैं बात कर रहा हूं आपका इश्यू के बारे में. आप बोल रहे हैं भारत तेरे टुकड़े होंगे. ये पूरा माई पॉलिटिक्स होता है. चाहे कांग्रेस पार्टी ने किया है, मैंने किया क्या? कौन होते हैं आप? आपका झूठ मेरे नाम पे फैलने का कौन है आप? बंद कीजिए ये बकवास. आई एम यूजिंग द टर्म रेस्पॉन्सिबली ऑन नेशनल टेलीविजन. बंद कीजिए बकवास. देश के ऊपर कांग्रेस बीजेपी नहीं है. ये देश जनता का है, हमारा देश है. आप कौन होते हैं? नफरत फैलते हैं, डर फैलते हैं हर दिन. आप कौन होते हैं? बंद कीजिए बकवास. देश को संभालेंगे हम.
Okay, Mr. Mecca and Mr. Mukesh, see, this is an important story. Let's keep the sensitivities of people at mind. We can talk of a lot of things, but the idea is to ensure that tempers remain soothed and the situation comes under control. And that is my only plea that's going out to all of you. Shahid Ali, who do you think, sir, is responsible? When you see what has happened, Yogi government says that we will take the strictest possible action against those involved. I mean, should a Durga procession yatra now be moving with security?
Unfortunately, in our country nowadays, what is being happening, a person holding the constitutional post, embarking upon people to come together, not to be divided in the name of religion. So be united in the name of religion. Against whom? Obviously against Muslims. So basically, this is a provocation for which Mr. Akhilesh has said. This is the target against the Muslims. So everything.
How do you say this, sir? Shahid ji, do you have any proof?
This clearly shows, everything was pre-planned, and that is why this has happened. But what is the fuel of BJP? The fuel of BJP is only these kind of things, this kind of politics, divide and rule. What they are doing in this country, they are dividing the country, this great country, in the name of religion. So they are embarking people of one particular religion to be united against others. What is this going on in this country? And
so you're saying you also, much like the SP, Shahid ji, you also, much like the SP, believe that this is because of the BJP. You're holding the BJP responsible for this.
I am holding the responsible. Who really is the responsible for this?
Who is that?
I'm putting a question to public at large through you.
You say everything you want to say, and then you say I'm asking a question.
Please,
I mean, this is exactly how sentiments are provoked, Shahid ji, and I'm sure being an advocate, you would be well aware of this. But Ratan Sharda ji, as someone, sir, who does not wear a political hat, but who talks about the society and looks at how it operates, and, also taking a leaf from what the RSS chief just some days ago had spoken. He said it's important for all of us to stay united, us as a country.
The Shahid Ali's argument similar to the argument of their erstwhile colleagues who said 62611 is RSS ki sajish. Now, I will not get into who provoked whom. I'll just give 5 examples of recent week. Sikandrabad, 100% Hindu locality, and illegal masjid was built there, and the vigrah of the temple was broken. The CCTVs on the social media. In Malad Maloni, in Mumbai, there was forceful entry by certain peaceful people in the mandap, and the violence was stopped by panic of the time. In Ganpati hoarding, a huge hoarding, Muslim was putting up a flag there. He actually put up a flag there. That was not a provocation, but one Hindu who was attacked from a particular building, when he went and changed the flag, it was the excuse of killing the person. In the Durga and Ganpati processions, there have been routine attacks right from Karnataka to Bengal to UP. But you will not question TMC, you will not question Congress, you will question one particular state because that is rural BJP. What is the provocation? A TV Maulana said just yesterday that aap Devi ki puja karte baad mein dash dash dash. Is that not provocation? So what is the provocation? Provocation is Hindus' very existence the provocation for certain people, because never has any religious procession of any other community being given protection for years. I'm not talking about 4 or 5 years, years together. Why other religion communities don't need protection? Because Hindus see to it that they are not attacked. Why other communities cannot follow that particular example? No, but they will feel provoked because I do bhajan, because I give certain slogans. And this non-attack of Hindus is never appreciated. But the provocation is proved every time a Hindu takes out a religious procession. So Hindus must stop taking religious processions because it provokes certain people, because you cannot have bells ringing in a particular village because they have become minority. You cannot take a procession because they have become a minority. In Tamil Nadu, people have to go to court every time they have to take out a procession. Has anyone ever spoken about it? Where is the politics in this? Tell me.
Okay. And so Ratan Sharda ji is asking, where is politics? Who's playing politics? Both Mr. Mecca and Pooja want to come in here. Ratan ji, with your permission, let me quickly get the response. Pooja, first to you.
He is just misleading. When there is any procession, the authority has responsibility. The police has to take care of the security of the people. They know that there will be a huge gathering. Right now in Banaras also.
No, but Pooja, you know, my simple question is that is it fair for any politician, even a former chief minister, to say that it's the ruling government that has created all this? He's saying this is a pre-planned conspiracy to only milk votes.
The ruling government is busy in giving head speeches. The ruling chief minister is busy in giving head speeches.
So you will get
that's why he's responsible.
And you know, you are.
So you will go and
ask the question.
So this justifies the violence. Pooja, then let me ask you: does this justify the violence? Are you justifying violence on national television like that?
Violence can't be justified. The wrong can never be justified. Wrong done today, yesterday, or tomorrow, that never can be justified. I'm just saying the responsible person should take the responsibility instead of just again spreading hate speech. I just feel sorry. We feel sorry that the government who is responsible to take care of Uttar Pradesh people is busy in hiding behind the opposition, is busy giving hate speeches, is busy just forming government on the dead bodies.
Okay, you say this is a clear provocation by the state, but does the opposition have zero responsibility? Say yes or no?
No,
to allude motives to a government without proof, Pooja, I don't think even that is the best strategy in these times. Mr. Mecca, do you agree with what you've just heard from the SP?
No, see, first point is Deepti. These are incidents that happen. I'm sorry, मेरा गला बैठ गया क्योंकि मैं कल रात दुर्गा विसर्जन में था. The entire country for centuries is happily living together. Don't try to put this narrative that taking isolated incidents, put a narrative that there is something happening. No, don't. If there is something happening, that is happening because of RSS.
Mr. Mecca, see, I did not think that you will, get into this, but now that you have,
I will.
see exactly what the Congress said, exactly what the Congress party said, and Ratan Shardaji would remember this when Hindus were targeted in Bangladesh. You said no big deal about this. You people are, making a big deal. These are exaggerated instances you're talking about. And you're telling me this is an isolated instance, sir?
Deepti.
Their leader who spoke for Hindus was thrown out of the party.
बोलिए मिस्टर मेका.
क्या? ओके.
आपके जो लीडर थे उनको तो आपने निकाल दिया फिर प्रेसिडेंटशिप पे, क्योंकि उन्होंने पोल खोल दी टीएमसी की राइट्स के बारे में. क्यों निकाला उनको? क्योंकि टीएमसी के अगेंस्ट बोले, उनके वायलेंस के अगेंस्ट बोले, तब तक कुछ बोले नहीं. जब राहुल गांधी खड़े रहे जेएनयू के जवान के साथ, जिसने कहा था टुकड़े होंगे इंशाअल्लाह, आप बोलते सब बकवास है. आपको वीडियो दिखाएंगे टाइम्स नाउ वाले.
आप अभी जो बोल रहे हैं आप बकवास है.
अच्छा नहीं, ये प्लीज लैंग्वेज मिस्टर मेका, लैंग्वेज प्लीज. Let's come back to the point. Before I wrap, I want you to conclude your point. Does Hindu Astha, sir, does the faith of millions of Hindus in the country matter or not?
Language. Ratan Sharda can say bakwas.
No one is saying anything, sir. I asked you a simple question, please. Let's not deflect, please.
I said stop saying bakwas, argue.
बोलिए Mr. Mecca. Mr. Mecca, go on, sir.
You are the peddler of bakwas.
Mr. Mecca, please.
Listen to you.
Sir, just tell me, do you believe that Hindu festivals of late have come under attack in the country in one part and the other?
No, not at all.
No
festival has come under attack.
Okay.
This is only some stupid people creating isolated incidents.
Who are these stupid people?
There are stupid people everywhere.
One person, sir, one person has been shot dead today in Uttar Pradesh.
Okay.
Are you saying this is also bakwas? Are you saying this is also exaggerated and this has not happened?
No, I am not saying. I am not countering the facts.
Then?
I am countering your narrative around
No, there is no narrative, sir. There is no narrative. What is happening is right in front of our eyes. That's what I told you. Let this sink in that one person has lost his life. If there are parties today in the country who still believe that this is quote unquote exaggerated or this is, one or a remote instance, we let them think like this. We let them think like this, Mr. Mecca.
No, madam, suniye. Simple thing is, hazaron saal se, for hundreds of years, thousands of years, Greeks came to India, Persians came to India, Jews came to India, Christians came to India.
Mr. Mecca, I'm just running out of time.
We are fine.
Apologies. I will have to cut you short here, but we'll track that story. I want to thank Pooja and all gentlemen for their time, and we will track that story and what happens in the investigation on the other side of this quick break also.